NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner, and with me today is Principal Tommy Smigiel of the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thanks for having me, Karen. Glad to be back.
Glad to be back, glad to have you back, and we've been in school for a couple months now. You've got a new school, new name. What's happening at the school now?
Well, yeah, the last time I was on, we were still in the planning stages, and so now we have a few months behind us. It's going outstanding. It's great. The kids are excited, the teachers are excited, the parents are excited. It's just great to be able to offer a program such as what we're offering for our kids in Norfolk.
What do you think is different, or what is different about the Academy from our other schools?
Sure. You know, it's a good question because I think we're still defining ourselves as a school, but we do know a few things. One, we have project-based learning as a focus throughout the school, and our teachers have been trained. They went through a 3-day training this summer, gave up their time to learn how to implement project-based learning. And then we are now officially a candidate school for the International Baccalaureate program. And once again, our teachers at our middle school level have been phasing that in and starting that process. We are just excited about all the hands-on activities that the kids are getting. I brought one project. This is a novel that my 8th grade IB students were reading. It's called Inside Out and Back Again. And it's about a refugee that came to the United States and her experience as an ELL student in Florida. And so our students actually read this novel, and to start off, they did a gallery walk looking at different refugees around the world and how they are integrated into the culture. And then our students read the novel, and they did multiple projects regarding this book. And so our students are getting that global experience through the IB program, as well as the project-based learning aspect.
Yeah, go a little bit more into that project-based learning. What does that really look like?
Sure. So in a traditional school, we have what's called dessert projects. So usually at the end of a unit, the kids get to work on a project, and most of it is done at home. Well, at Lakewood, we are working on implementing those projects through a unit. And so there's usually a driving question that's related to the content that the students would normally learn through the Virginia Standards of Learning. But throughout sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a few days, they're learning those concepts through projects, and they're doing the work in school, and they're working collaboratively together, creating an object or a project or poster or presentation. One example is our 5th grade team. They're starting some novels and some books, and the kids created trailers for the book. And we did a big night where all the parents and the kids could come up and watch the kids' trailers, and then they were given feedback from experts as well as parents on the trailers that they created for their books. And so it's still teaching the concepts that they're needed for reading in 5th grade, but doing it through more of hands-on and interactive approach.
So that's pretty much the typical day for the students.
It is. So as they go through the day, so it could vary. So it depends on which teacher's choosing to do a project at that time and the length of that project. We also have interdisciplinary units in which some teachers collaborate on a project together. And so a science teacher may work with a math teacher on a project, and then it's extended throughout the school day during those different times that they're learning, or over multiple weeks as they're learning through it. So, and it's great to see the kids. The kids are just so wonderful to see how involved and excited they are about the work that they're doing.
So what kind of feedback are you receiving from the students and the teachers about this new process?
Well, you know, as a new school, we always have our challenges in developing our procedures. But as far as the instructional side is concerned, the kids are just excited. Every day, you know, I was telling you earlier, I feel like a rock star sometimes with the elementary students as they come in the school. But you can see that their spirits are up, how they like the interaction, how well they get along together as they're working on activities. They're happy, and the parents are telling me that their kids are coming home. Some kids that said they haven't enjoyed school up until this point, and they're coming home with smiles on their faces, enjoying that. And my teachers are enjoying that we can do things a little bit different and be a little bit free with how we're trying these projects and how they're being implemented. And the teachers appreciate that because the kids are engaged and they're involved in the learning.
That sounds exciting over there.
It is, and we hope to be a model, you know, that we can continue experimenting and practicing this, and then be able to share our experiences with my colleagues and other schools, and continue to grow that kind of spirit of engagement.
So what's next for the Academy?
So next year we will go full school IB. So this year when we did the school, it was a lottery process at the middle school level, but we had a choice of choice program and the International Baccalaureate program. But as we're going through the evaluation process with IB, they want us to be a whole school International Baccalaureate. So as our fifth graders move up, all of them will be involved in IB, and then we will go whole school as we implement that. And then it's continuing to experiment. Project-based learning is not something that our teachers are used to. And so it takes practice, and they have to try it out. And so next year we'll continue growing our projects and the activities that the kids are doing in school.
So what is the IB process? What's the timeline to phase it all in?
So it's normally a 3-year process. We are, as a candidate school, we have a consultant that works with us. And right now all of our teachers are going to training. So we have a small group that's going to be they go to other states, and they go to probably the most premier training in the world. And then they come back and they start implementing that. So the first year is implementing, getting the teachers used to a different type of lesson plan. So Lakewood, we have a different lesson plan than other schools. And then implementing those, their activities and their requirements. And then next year, an evaluation team will come through Lakewood, and we'll look to see how we're implementing their approaches. So one of the biggest components of IB is something called approaches to learning. And I think that if there's anything that a student can get out of Lakewood, it is that experience. It's how we communicate with each other, looking at things from a conceptual standpoint. Those experiences are the life skills, the learning skills that students need to be successful in college and beyond in life. And so they're starting to really implement that and get that in there. So when IB comes in, they're looking to see that we're implementing that, as well as global contexts.
Right.
That our students are understanding that they're not just here in Norfolk, Virginia, that there's a bigger world out there than Norfolk, Virginia, and we want our students to have that experience.
And I see just from our conversation, you are so excited to be there. So you are really enjoying being principal of this school.
Absolutely. It's the best job in the world. And like I said, you know, I get my energy from the kids, and when they come in, and you can just see how happy they are. You know, and one other unique thing too is that we have 90 kids that came to us from private and homeschool, and we haven't lost one of them. The parents are happy. They're like, wow, you know, this is what Norfolk Public Schools is about in this experience. And so when you hear those types of comments, you can only just be happy and say, this is a great job, and I enjoy being with my students and my teachers.
Yeah, so if parents want to come to your school, how can they contact you?
So next year the process will be a little bit different because this year we took kids all from 3rd through 8th grade, but next year we will only be taking students in 3rd and 6th grade. There will be an application process, a lottery process for that, and we're hoping about mid-December that we'll have all that information up on our website, as well as Norfolk Public Schools will advertise that for us on our process of how students can apply to the school. It's hard too, because we get calls and emails every day from a lot of interested families, because as our families go out, they're telling them about their great experience, and so now we're getting people saying, how does my child get into your school? But we do have limits, and so that's why the eventual goal is to grow this at other schools as well.
Great. And what's your phone number?
Our phone number is 757-628-2477, or you can email us at adlquestions@nps.k12.va.us. And that ADL stands for Academy for Discovery at Lakewood.
And say that 3 times.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Great to have you back on the show again and giving us an update on your school.
And thank you, Karen. We're excited. Have me back again so we can
will.
continue sharing all the great things we're doing.
Great. Thank you,
Thank
Tommy.
you. Thanks.
And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today, we have 2 special guests from Old Dominion University. here to talk about our Education Day that's coming up. And we have the head women's coach, Coach Barefoot from Old Dominion. Welcome.
Welcome.
Energy's back in the studio. And we have Dr. Andy Lyons, faculty member at Old Dominion University. So welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Coach, you were here last year and we were able to promote the game, and that's what we want to do this time. Again, this game is going to be December 2nd. So talk about the game first.
Well, you know, it gives an opportunity for kids to come out and first time ever maybe being on a college campus.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, I mean, it's amazing because they get that vision of working hard to go to college one day. And so for us, I mean, it's just about making sure that we get the word out to give them that kind of experience. I mean, last year was a sellout for us.
Yeah, let's talk about that, the growth of this event. This is the 5th year. So we've kind of bumped it up each year, and,
Right.
and last year we really hit the mark.
Well, you know, Steve, with a little bit of history, when I was in 2nd grade, my English teacher said, hey, if the class received a certain amount of grades and worked hard and had good attitudes, that she would reward us and go to a soccer game at Christopher Newport University. Well, at the time, I had no clue. And so I worked hard and had a great attitude, and as a result, I had a chance to go to Christopher Newport and watch a soccer game.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, you know, maybe I want to go to college one day. And so that was in my head about, you know, working hard and going to high school and having that vision. And so as I went into coaching through my journey, when I got to Elon University, I started thinking about that idea. And so through Elon, we started an Education Day. And after I left Elon to come here to be the head coach, I sat down with President Broderick and Athletic Director Wood Seelig and talked about Education Day here at Old Dominion. And ever since then, it's been a huge success. And I mean, I'm so proud. Every year it gets better.
Yeah, I think our first year we have 35 schools, elementary schools, and we may have had a little bit over half, over 1,000 students. But now, you know, we've grown, and it's grown because we got Dr. Lyons
That's right.
involved from Old Dominion University. So, Dr. Lyons, talk about how your class is involved, and let's go from there.
Well, first off, I teach the event planning and sponsorship for the undergraduates in the sport management department. And part of the class is to organize, plan, and implement a sporting event. And for the past 3 years or so, 4 years or so, that my class event has been implementing and designing this, helping with the Day of Partnership. So this year, like similar to last year, we had 34 to 35 elementary schools in attendance, and we're on the same track presently.
Okay, so last year we topped over 6,000 students with all those schools involved. And another unique thing about that is all those buses that pull up to the TED and surround it to get these children there. So it's really a lot of people are involved, and there's a lot of moving parts, and this class has definitely helped that. So now, do they go out to the schools to help?
They certainly do. What happens is I assign each one of our students to a school, so they will serve as a liaison to their elementary school for ODU. So each student in some of the larger schools who bring over 500 plus students will have maybe 2 students assigned to that school. So they work all semester long, from day 1 of school in August all the way down to the day of the game.
And planning is important. We just don't throw this together the week before the game.
No.
So, Coach, I know we start this early, so talk a little bit about the planning.
It is a lot of work, but again, everybody's so passionate about making this happen. And from the buses to Dr. Lyons to your people coming in to my people sitting down talking about getting out to the schools. We bring our players out to the schools too, and they read to the students, or they'll talk their story about themselves, how they got here. And so there's a lot of things that goes on week to week. I mean, you would think it's their second job,
Yeah.
but when you do something you love and you want to see this pull off and see the faces on those kids.
And I tell you what, that's what it's all about, because I know there's a basketball game going on, but to see everybody, the excitement from the students that are there, it's really truly an amazing thing to see.
It is.
And loud.
Yes.
Amazing. And there's always a spirit award
Spirit contest.
Yeah.
Yes.
contest.
Yeah.
So
Each elementary school.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Right.
involvement, a lot of things going on that Old Dominion does for the students that do attend. So that's really unique. So what benefit does the Norfolk Public School student and then the Old Dominion student get from this?
Well, my students get a experience working with adults, you know, because I would say they're young adults right now, in organizing, getting all the information as far as the number of tickets, how many students are coming, how many chaperones, whether if they are going to order the meals that are going to be provided or not. Organizing the student that comes down for the tunnel run when the players come out and
Another
give high fives.
exciting moment.
Oh, it's wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful this year. So they get all of those experience with working with others, and along with you know, at the end of the game and seeing, like we said, the joys of the students' faces and problem solving and running an event.
Yeah. Coach, talk about what do your players get from participating in this game? And you?
Well, they're inspired. So you think that they inspire the kids, they're inspired. They get to go out there for 2 hours, work hard, play together as a team, you know, communicate, be positive, and show them what it takes to be role models. And so they look up to them. So for us, we walk away, it's a win-win.
Right. Well, we always have to ask, what are the challenges that go into this thing?
Well, I think that
from the coaching aspect, is it different for your players to have a tip-off at 11 o'clock, for example?
I don't think that's really, you know, you get a cup of coffee, ready to go. I mean, we're machines. We're trained to do whatever. And so for us, I think it's the challenges, it keeps growing and getting better. So, I mean, last year was the first sellout in women's basketball history at the TED.
And we were glad we were part of that.
Yeah.
And so now maybe the challenge is maybe adding another education day. Because, you know, you don't want to turn kids away.
Sure.
But the challenge is the fact that you got to work hard, you know, like Dr. Lyon said, of putting it together. And everybody is important. Everybody.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but, you know, it pays off. Maybe not now, maybe years and years down the line, because those kids are going to walk away thinking, you know, hey, I want to go to college, and not just be a basketball player, but maybe just going for academics or whatever, because they get a chance to see the facilities. They get a chance to have that vision of understanding that education is number one and what it takes to get there.
And another exciting thing this year, we're going to be able to honor at tip-off our new superintendent, who starts on December 1st, and we're going to get her there for that December 2nd game. So it's going to be really unique to have Dr. Boone there with your president to present that game ball prior to the game. So, Coach, one more time about the game. When is it? Who
It's
you playing?
11 o'clock, Loyola, on December the 2nd, and we are so excited about this event. I mean, again, my players, one of their favorite games the whole year.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to it. Maybe put some earplugs on. Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to it too. Dr. Lyons, you know, your class is doing an awesome job. Coach, we're going to follow you all season, and you know, we're going to look for great things for this game and then moving on.
Thanks, Steve.
I want to thank you both for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With me today is Whitney Vaughn, Marketing Coordinator for Military Circle Mall, and radio personality Charles Black from 95.7 R&B. Welcome to NPS Now today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Good morning, Karen.
Well, it's a great cause of why I have you here today. We partner together, Military Circle Mall, 95.7, and Norfolk Public Schools every year for a special initiative. And so, Whitney, I'm going to ask you about that particular initiative. It's called No Cold Kids Coat Drive.
That's right.
That's the official name.
Yes.
So tell us about that coat drive. What's that about?
Well, Military Circle Mall and Norfolk Public Schools have often worked together, and in the colder months, it's common enough to see clothing drives and coat drives, but what makes this one particularly special is that the donations go directly to the hands of persons in need, children in need in the school district and with our partner. We're fortunate enough to share the same initiative as Charles Black, who hosts a number of clothing drives throughout Hampton Roads, and we've partnered up, and he helps us spread the word and get great donations and great volunteers.
Charles, since you put you on the spot now, why did you get involved through 95.7 to do this?
Well, long story short, obviously I'm a big guy, and years ago, it was, small town is difficult for big people on limited income to find clothes. And a lot of the clothes that I wore as a child were donated to me by those who were more fortunate than me. And that's something that I kept with me throughout my life, helping people who were less fortunate. As your blessings increase, try to be a blessing to someone. And that's what we tell our listeners, that what is maybe a burden to you can become a blessing to someone else. And through Whitney and Norfolk Public Schools, it was brought to our attention that there's so many students who come to school not properly clothed. And this was a tremendous opportunity for us to work together to help a lot of needy students.
So did you contact Whitney, or did Whitney contact you?
I really don't remember how it happened. It was just fate, I guess. The planets lined up.
Right,
And here
right.
we are.
And we are very gracious as being the benefactors for those coats, and it's been going on for several years. So last year, I know there was a particular office space or like space that you collected the coats. What are you going to be doing this year in order to collect the coats?
This year we have a vacant space that's going to be dedicated specifically to the coat drive. So we'll be taking collections every single day. That's the difference from last year. We only collected coats on Saturdays last year. We collected almost 400 coats on 3 Saturdays when you think about it. So between now and the end of December, we'll have collections every day in a collection bin in the food court, and then the coats will be organized in the vacant space by our volunteers.
So what has the response been over the last couple of years to actually people coming and donating coats? About how many coats do you think you guys have been collecting?
Well, last year it was around 500 coats, maybe.
Yeah, closer to.
The thing about a coat drive, well, as you said earlier, this time of year, there are a lot of charitable efforts being made. So it's very easy to get caught up in that wall of noise, so to speak. But we have a lot of beautiful people in Mega Sci-Fi, Lavok Family Services, and just concerned people throughout the area who step forward when they know that children are going to be helped. Also, we have some partners this year that we didn't have last year.
Wow.
Who are willing to donate their portion of their coat drives to needy students. So we're making progress every year. More people are being helped every time. That's the encouraging aspect.
So you've been promoting this on 95.7.
Yes.
And so the response has been we've gotten more people
Yes.
who want to come and partner and be a part
We're
of
actually
this.
collecting coats at our studios at 236 Clearfield in Virginia
Oh.
Beach. You can actually bring the coat to me personally, and I'll make sure it gets to Whitney.
Great. And so why do you think Military Circle Mall embraced this opportunity to do this?
Well, one, just because we want to give back to the community that supports us and brings us business, of course. We work with Norfolk Public Schools with the music department, with the art department, to display our children's talents and promote their education, and we want to also make sure those in need are taken care of.
So people are out shopping now. As the holiday trees and lights are up, what types of coats, gently used, new, what sizes are pretty much in need for this season for this?
Well, preferably smaller children. That's the impression I got last year.
Yes, the smaller, first off, we donated to elementary and middle school. We'll accept all coats, and they'll be given to persons in need. But new coats are absolutely welcome, and gently used laundered coats would also be appreciated for children.
For children. Okay, let's give specific dates and times for, someone's out shopping Black Friday, they need to know when this coat drive starts and when it stops. So what are those dates and information?
Okay, well, as Charles said, he's collected a few, so let's say it's already begun. We'll be collecting through December 14th, and the distribution will be before the children go to winter break, home
Okay.
for winter break.
Yeah, because I think we end school on the 22nd, 23rd.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm excited about that. I'll be out there to help. So what day do you think you'll be out there broadcasting live?
You never know when I'm going to pop up. I'm just like that bad uncle that you don't see coming. I can show up at any time, but it's going to be Saturdays, Saturday afternoon, early Saturday mornings, things like that.
Now, do we need volunteers, even though you have that particular location by
Yes.
the
Yes.
coat drive? How can they contact someone? Who do you need volunteers for? What do you need them to do?
Collect the coats, organize the coats, sort the coats. You can contact me at charles@957rnb.com.
Okay.
R&B Nation, Facebook, and 497-2000 front office number.
Okay, what about for you, Whitney?
You can also call the mall office, 757-461-0777,
Okay.
and just contact the marketing department, and I'll get you assigned. And we need volunteers for sorting specifically. When you have a mass number of coats, you need to sort them by size and gender so they can be distributed the correct
And
way.
you said every day, so the mall hours are from what time?
We're normally open from 10 to 9, but we're going to have extended hours moving into the holiday season, so that opens up the window for more donations. But collections and sorting we'll work at the volunteers' availability, but mall hours are normally 10 to 9.
Okay, so there's going to be signage in the food court where they can drop the coats off.
Yes.
And I'm sure that security and other folks are going to be around, making
yeah.
sure that the right thing happens.
We'll make sure you find it.
Great, great. Well, we thank you both for having this coat drive and being able to partner with you all this year again for No Coat Kids
That's right.
Coat Drive.
No
That's it.
Coat
Y'all say
Kids.
that twice.
No cold kids. No cold kids.
No coat kids.
Okay.
Great. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or more information you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@npsk12.com. Again, thank you for watching NPS Now.